earth to live as a man, to live a perfect life without sin. In other words, without disobeying one of God's commandments. And all God's commandments are boiled down into two. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and with all your strength. And the second that follows from that is you shall love your neighbor as yourself. Now, if any one of us examined our lives, we would know that we have not kept God's law to the perfection that God requires. And God tells us, said the soul that sins shall die. That's really why we have physical death. That's why we have spiritual death. Because when we're born, we've inherited a sinful nature. From Adam and Eve, when they first disobeyed God in the Garden of Eden. And when I mentioned that sin, oh, what's sin? What's sin? There's an easy definition of the word sin, S-I-N. And it's got I in the middle. It means I'm going to set my own rules. I'm going to make my own way. And I'm a good guy. And somehow God is obliged to accept me. But God requires a perfect, sinless life that only the Lord Jesus Christ fulfilled. And so, when he lived his perfect life, and he went to the cross at Calvary outside Jerusalem, 2,024 years ago, he became sin for us. He didn't have any sin for himself, but he took the punishment of death upon himself. Because God's holy law says the soul that sins shall die. So Jesus died in our place. He's our substitute. So the Lord Jesus kept God's holy law perfectly, and the way that God showed that he was pleased with the Lord Jesus' perfect life is because after he was crucified and buried, 3 days later he rose again, because he hadn't committed any sin.